Hello, hello, hello. I am finally here. I made it. Facebook was not trying to make me be great, but I finally got the live working. Okay, so I'm just going to jump right in. My name is Vanessa Cunningham, and I am the co-founder and president of Unhealthy No More. I'm also by trade and by profession, I should say, a business analyst and a project manager. So that is what I do professionally, and I'm also an entrepreneur. And I also am the operations manager for PPM Global Assessments. I'm so excited to be here with you. This is such an amazing topic that we're going to go over. But first, I want to thank Dr. Tyler Price for even allowing me to come before you all today to share the wisdom concerning health, to share the wisdom concerning getting your stress in balance, prioritizing your health, and ensuring that you are in balance as you are literally going for your goals, as you are going for the number one spot, because that's what men and women do. We go for the number one spot. We ain't trying to be last. We ain't trying to be second. We trying to be number one. So I'm just thankful to be here today. And then really quickly, I'm just going to really cover what I'm going to talk about today. Today, I'm going to really talk about stress. I'm going to talk about balance. Far too often when we're busy, when we're chasing our goals, we have a lot on our plate. One of the things that typically falls to the wayside is our health. And health is really an important thing. I understand, there's so many sayings out there where people say, I'll sleep when I'm dead, or I don't have time, to make time for my health. It's not important. It's something that I can, figure out later. But the unfortunate thing is that most people who have that mindset are those who typically leave the earth prematurely. They're the ones that end up in the hospital sick. They're the ones that are suffering from panic and anxiety attacks because they did not take the necessary time to take care of their health. Now, let me tell you here, if it's one person who knows that, is me. I'm speaking from not only knowledge, but I'm speaking from experience. So before I even started my company, I used to work on Wall Street. I used to work in financial services. I worked for the top Fortune 500 banks. So I was there working tons of hours, 12 to 14. And on top of that, my commute is 3 hours. So I'm sure you could do the math that you could see that I really wasn't sleeping that much. And even during that time where health was actually a priority for me, I began to see it slip right from my hands. I mean, literally, it was like night and day where, I walked in vibrant, in shape, excited, ready to take on the world, ready to climb up the corporate ladder. And then suddenly, as I began to get promoted up the ranks, which is, pretty quickly, thank you for the Lord, for his favor and blessings on that. Like, I literally began to see the shift in me. I began to see the attitude, the personality shift. My mood was horrible. You couldn't talk to me. I wasn't trying to talk to you. It just wasn't happening. So I eventually got sick, overweight. I mean, my face was breaking out. I did end up in the hospital. I actually had an anxiety attack. So everything that we're going to cover today is because I want to share the wisdom that I have learned over the years. I have literally noticed and witnessed people in these companies literally just die prematurely. I mean, these people are all-stars. They climb to the top, managing directors, and constantly you see emails about this person has passed, this person has passed. And if you can imagine, it's just, it's a sad thing, but I'm pretty sure a lot of that did contribute to them not making time for their health and literally just operating in just a success mode and not realizing that your health is what helps to anchor your success in the earth. You can't even get a chance to enjoy the fruits of your labor if you get taken out prematurely, right? So I have gone through this myself. I have, again, like I said, witnessed other people go through this. I continue to observe people, even when I'm talking to people concerning this, everyone says the same thing to me. I don't have time to do this. Eating healthy is just too expensive. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do that. And I just let them talk because I already know what's going to happen, because I've been there. So I'm just grateful to have the opportunity to share with you, because one of the things that Dr. Tyler Price talks about with being a winner women, that you have to take this by the reins. It's really going to be up to you to make the decisions that is literally going to carve the trajectory of your success and where you're going to land in this world. So I just want you to always remember that it's your responsibility to take on your health. It's not no one else's responsibility. It is yours, and it's something that you must prioritize, because if you're trying to be successful and you have many things to do, if you can't think, you ain't got no energy, you feel miserable, it's not going to work. You staying up late all night trying to conquer all your things, and then what happens to you in the next couple of days? You're out. Now you need 3 to 5 days just to get your energy and your strength back. So we don't want to do that. What we want to do is, as you are building to be that mogul, building to be that number one, listen, we want to see you guys in Forbes. We want to see you guys on the couple of Forbes, but we want to see you looking great, feeling great, and also having the fruit to show why you should be in that place. So I'm going to cover today a couple of things that I want you guys to keep in mind when we're thinking about stress. So statistically, 80% of doctor visits are stress related. Stress is something that is just becoming a phenomenon. It's probably going to be an epidemic soon, or a pandemic, because it's just such a big topic that a lot of people, they try to forego, because they think that by them doing things to kind of mask and band-aid that they're okay, but they're really not okay, because the stats are showing it. The doctors are concerned. People are dying of heart attacks left than right. People are getting cancer because people are not taking the time to slow down. They're not taking the time to bring balance to their lives. Now, balance is going to look different for every person. And when I say balance, I'm not saying you're going to go do what you're going to do and think that you're going to have 7 hours of just playtime. That's not how it works. You're going to have to figure out what that looks like for you. So for me, one of the things that I've started incorporating recently was swimming, because I started to notice you're getting out of balance. Again, I have key markers to go against, because not only do I know this by book knowledge, but I've experienced it, right? So one of the things that I picked up recently was swimming, because swimming is very calming for me. It's very relaxing. I enjoy the cool, calm water to calm my fiery self down anyway. So I definitely enjoy the water. I enjoy just having that time, just even talking to the Lord, and just really getting that time to be calm and serene. Now for me, that's only about an hour, right? And that's only me adding that an hour a few times a day. Some people may need a couple of days where they're just like, listen, I'm going to work these hours, but then I'm going to make time for this. You have to remember that you have to make time for the things you enjoy. Anything that you decide to do 100%, and there's nothing else that you do to the point where your friends, your family, everybody looking for you, nobody can find you nowhere because that's all you do, you are literally going to be a subject of burnout. You're going to be a subject of having poor health. You're going to be a subject of feeling miserable. You're going to get taxed. You're going to literally wipe yourself out before time. So you want to make sure that as you are going after your goals, that you make time for yourself. Whatever it is that looks for you, like I said, balance looks different for other people. Some people may say, you know what, I'll work Monday through Friday, and Saturday I'm off, I'm not doing nothing. Some people don't have that option. Depending on what you're going for in life, you have to figure out what it is that you need to do to keep your sanity. Because when you're thinking about stress, stress is really a thought that has literally gone out of control. And now I'm not saying that you can't, stress is a bad thing. What I'm talking about is chronic stress, to the point where this thing is hitting you every day. You're feeling the tenseness in your neck. You're having an attitude every single day. You're gaining weight. Things are just changing, and you know that it's not yourself. I'm talking about chronic stress that will literally wreak havoc on your body and in your life. So I just want to cover a few things as we're, talking about stress. Now, again, stress is not negative. You need it for your everyday life. Say a dog is chasing you down the street, right? Your body is going to release chemical reactions. It's going to release cortisol. It's going to release adrenaline, right? those are going to be chemicals that's going to help you to get out of that situation, right? You probably going to be running like you Usain Bolt, right? And you ain't never run like that before because you don't run anyway. So that is going to help you to get to where you need to. Now think about it. These chemicals in overdrive, day in and day out, day in and day out, eventually what it's going to do is literally going to sap you dry. It's going to destroy your organs. You are going to be nutrient deficient. A whole host of things are going to take place because you have not taken the right steps. So some of the things that I want to cover today is some of the symptoms that you can look for when you have crossed over from a balanced state into being imbalanced. So your balance is, you're getting your stuff done, you're, being able to meet your deadlines, you're making time to nourish your mind, body, and spirit, you're taking the time, with family and loved ones, however that looks for you. Imbalance looks like when you are constantly just in overdrive. You cannot focus, you're all over the place, you're just doing way too much, and it's not even healthy for you. So one of the things that you're going to begin to notice, which is really a classic sign, but a lot of people ignore this. So one of the things is going to be adrenal fatigue, right? So you're going to be tired all the time. No matter what you do, you are going to be tired. You're going to drink coffee, you're going to be tired. You're going to try to B12, you're going to be tired. You're going to try your energy drink, you are going to be tired. You're going to go to bed and get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. You're going to wake up and feel like a brick literally smack you in the face, and you will not be able to get out of that bed. So that is one of the classic signs that you are heading in the wrong path, and you are going to have to make changes. Again, these things happen in life, and you just have to be observant, and you have to be cognizant of how you are as an individual, what your body likes, how your body's responding, and then you can then take that intel and make the right decision. So again, adrenal fatigue is going to be that thing where you're just constantly tired, and no matter what you do, it's never going to work until you nourish your body again. So the next thing is going to be skin problems. Naturally, when you're stressed out, and especially if you're someone that doesn't necessarily suffer from this, you don't really have acne, you don't really suffer from that. Typically teenagers, people in their youth are generally those that typically have it, unless people are dealing with adult acne. You're going to begin to see structural changes in your face. You're going to begin to even see wrinkles pop up, right? Because high excess cortisol is literally going to break down the collagen in your body. Prime example, not trying to throw shade, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Former President Barack Obama. He went in, he looked nice, he looked young, he looked fresh. He came out, he looked crazy, he looked gray, his skin was wrinkled because of the high stress that he was enduring. And that cortisol was breaking down his collagen. So I'm just trying to give an example. Listen, you might know other people who, have looked like this. 1 minute they look like this, and then next year you're like, oh, what happened to you? That's high stress. Also, when we're talking about pimples and stuff, high cortisol levels is just going to cause bacteria to invade your pores and cause you to be susceptible for inflammation, which is going to be the pimples that you see on your face that you don't want on your face because you want to look cute, right? Next up is going to be weight gain. That's always a classic sign, and the reason being is because generally when you're stressed, the first thing you do, you not run in to get no water, you not run in to pick up no weight, you running for them snacks, you running for them cookies and them cakes and all that, and it's not like I'm not trying to shame you or anything like that or health shame you, because there's enough people in the health space doing that and they out of order for that, but I digress and I'm gonna come back. I'm just trying to let you know that the reason why you're doing it is because your body is very sophisticated. It knows feels calm. It remembers when you were having that snack the other day and your dopamine and your serotonin was up and it was happy. Right? So now it's going to charge you to put it in a state where it is no longer happy. So it's going to look to you to say, I need you to feed me and give me something. You're naturally going to do that because if you're in a low despair, distressed state, you're going to want something that is going to bring you back up. So that is what your body is going to look for. And that's really why you end up reaching for that. And even on the topic of weight gain, now, sometimes when people are really high stress, they suffer from insomnia. So now when they want to go to sleep, they can't go to sleep. So now they're suffering from insomnia. They're eating all the time. They're having all these problems. And what you need to realize is that when you're not sleeping, you have higher levels of the hormone ghrelin in your body, right? And then you're going to have lower levels of leptin. So ghrelin is is the hunger hormone, and then leptin is going to be when you're satiated, right? So if you have increased hunger hormones, you're just going to be eating all the time. And it's not that you want to eat, it's only because your body is out of balance. And that is why it's causing you to do that. So again, sometimes the things that you're doing is not because you really want to do it. It's just your body is out of alignment, and it's not working according into a homeostasis, a way. So that's why it's causing you to not really be. It's because your body is out of order, and it's sending mixed signals, and it's causing you to do things that you wouldn't normally do. So again, that's why you want to keep that stress down. You don't want that cortisol up, causing belly fat, causing all types of issues, visceral fat around your organs, which can lead you to even more life-threatening diseases. So you want to make sure that, again, these are markers that you're going to begin to see. Another thing is going to be weakened immune systems. Now, earlier I said that when you are stressed out, your body needs what it needs to help you out. What happens is that cortisol is going to be in charge of regulating the body system. So it's going to begin shutting down things that it doesn't feel that it's necessary for you to have, while the adrenaline is getting you ready, you're getting all that energy, you pumped up, you're ready to go. Cortisol is saying, all right, so we don't need the digestive system right now. We don't need the reproductive system right now. We don't need the immune system right now, right? So now if you're chronically stressed all the time, guess what's happening to you every single day? Your immune system is shutting down on you, because again, your body needs the energy to help you in the state of the stress that you're in. So your immune system is shot, and then you're dealing with all these digestive issues. You could end up even having IBS. You could also have GERD. That you can have the acid reflux, the constipation. Like, stress literally shuts down your digestive system. So that's always a key marker. You're trying to eat all the time. You're getting full fast. You feel like the food is in your throat. You're burping left and right. It's one of the signals. I'm not saying it's necessarily could it be something else, but that's generally something that typically happens, and it literally changes the structure in your intestinal tract. It changes the gut flora. That's the good and bad bugs that help you to be healthy, and they have actually a lot of functions, but I'm not going to go here today with that. But it changes that, so you'll begin to feel bloated. You'll feel all these types of stomach pains. So again, you want to make sure that you're not putting your body in that overdrive, because it's now leading to your body shutting down. Now you're not able to digest your food properly. Now your body is not able to assimilate what you're giving it, and therefore nourishing your body. So now you could actually cause nutrient deficiency in your body, because the structure of your intestinal tract is not even fully functioning. So you want to make sure, again, that if you're starting to notice this, as you're always in high drive. Now again, there's going to be times when you're busy, when you have deadlines, when you need to meet things. That's fine. I'm talking about every single day you in this mode and you can never get out. And then, of course, I mentioned earlier, we're going to talk about emotional distress. Your personality's off. You mean. You don't want to talk to nobody. Nobody can say nothing to you. They say something, you're going to bite their head off, and that's not naturally how you are. Knowing that stress is literally behind this, and it will cause you to alter your relationships, sacrifice your relationship. People ain't going to talk to you no more because you're being nasty all the time. So you want to make sure, again, as you're busy, you got to watch. You got to be watchful of yourself as you're watchful of everything else, right? You're watching your business. You're watching the money coming in, money coming out. You're watching the competition. You got to be watchful of yourself as well. Okay. And then another thing I want to talk about, which is, people don't think it's a big deal, and, I'll be stressed out and whatever. And it's just going to be all right. It ain't going to be all right. All right. I'm telling you now. One thing that you're going to deal with, especially as you're younger, because when you're younger, you try to be slick because you think that you're going to get away with things. You think that nothing's going to happen to you until you start getting older. Now, if you keep doing these things in your younger years, what you're going to notice is that you're going to be a candidate for osteoporosis. You're going to be a candidate for bone loss. If you're constantly stressed out, your cortisol levels are constantly up, you will be a candidate for that. You will start wondering why you're having pains in your knees, why your joints is always in pain. Why do you feel like you're getting fractured this and fractured that? People don't realize the connection of cortisol, high cortisol, to bone loss. So now you're dealing with constantly nutrients being sapped out of your bone structure because you're constantly putting your body in this stage. And sometimes you may not notice it initially, but you'll start to notice it as you get older. So again, you want to make sure that you keep your stress levels in alignment. And again, when you begin to start seeing these things, now some of these things, when you see it, could be like you're headed in a dangerous mode. Some of these you'll see in the earlier stages. Typically the adrenal fatigue, you'll experience that first. Then you may experience structural changes in your intestinal tract. Then the digestive issues come into play. Then you start to deal with the memory issues, the brain fog, the memory issues. Then you start dealing with thyroid, because you have to remember these systems are all interconnected. So once one goes down, eventually the others begin to follow suit, and they will. It's best to try to catch this stuff early because your body systems work together, and when one thing happens, like I said, it's like a network inside of you, which I'm sure most of you already know that. It's literally a network inside, so you want to be cognizant of these things in advance and be watchful of what you're doing and how you're treating your body. And again, we all want to be successful, we all want to be on top, but you have to make sure that you make time for your health, because your health is what you're going to need to sustain the vision that God gave you. It's going to be what you get to pass on. You don't want to prematurely shut your vision down because you decided to be out of order and not take care of your health. You don't want to have to walk down the street and then randomly you just drop dead of a heart attack because you didn't take the necessary steps. So you want to make sure that you are literally taking time to take care of yourself, because at the end of it all these visits to the doctors, like I said, the root under a lot of that stuff is stress, and the stress is causing all the various systems in your body to malfunction, which then causes you to end up in those situations. So again, I want you to really take this seriously. I have explained earlier in the broadcast the stuff that I went through, and while it was difficult to go through, while it was difficult to overcome, it gave me the wisdom for myself and also for others, so that they can know, like, this thing is no joke. And then you have to also think about how you're built. And some people are very fiery, they're type A, they're going to definitely be the ones that are susceptible to these things. And there's even scientific research on that, on type A's and heart attacks and all this stuff. So you have to know yourself and be able to pre-build these things into your life. And as you're introducing balance into your life, that you're making sure that you're taking the necessary steps to nourish your body. When you're stressed out, and if you know you're going to go through a really high stress time, you want to always just remember this. You have to make sure that you always worry about getting your nutrients in, whether you're taking your multivitamins, you're making your smoothies, you're doing the superfood powders, whatever you're doing, you're getting in your vegetables. Know that you have to go up in your supplementation during that time, so that you don't position your body to get to those places that I mentioned before. So you want to make sure that you especially pay attention then. Now, I'm not saying don't pay attention no other time and you just go pay attention when you're stressed out. You're going to pay attention all the time, but you're going to make sure that when you are in those states, that you are really focusing on nourishing your body, so that you don't begin to put your body in that depletion mode. So some of the things, that I really want to encourage you guys again is really find that thing, like I said earlier, to really create that balance. Find out what balance looks like for you. One thing I'm going to tell you, don't look at nobody's life or what they tell you they're doing Everybody is different. What works for someone else may not work for you. And that's not just with food. That's just even with what you decide to do for your balance. Some people might just say, you know what? I'm exhausted. I'm just going to step away. I'm going to walk. I'm going to read, listen to my Bible. I'm going to pray. I'm going to talk to the Lord. And for some people, that just might be balance. It's just small increments of balance built in their day. Some people can go multiple days and they're like, oh, hold up, let me just bake in these couple of hours where I can do this, recenter myself, do something exciting, do something that's interesting and fun. We all have hobbies. We're not one dimensional. We're not here to just, obtain our goals, and we don't like nothing else. I like the drums too. So that's something that, I'm actually thinking about pre-building in myself, because when I don't do those things, I notice that I start going back down that path, because again, your focus is always on doing one thing great, trying to be, the star kid, which again, it's not a bad thing, but it's only a bad thing when you choose not to do the right thing. So I want you guys to literally take some of these tips that I'm going to give you in terms of balancing out your body and making sure that you are staying right and healthy. One of the things that I want you to do is, if you're one of those people that you don't eat right at all, and I'm not coming for you, but that's just not your thing. You're that person that says, I don't like the taste of this, I don't like the taste of that, I'm not doing this, I'm not doing that, that's not for me. I'm talking to you. I need you to pick one thing that you can implement into your life. It could just be for 1 week. Just try something out, right? So that can look like, you know what, instead of eating 3 meals a day, I'm going to have a smoothie. I'm going to go find a recipe. I ain't going to load it up with sugar, right? A little bit in there, not loaded, okay? We're not going to load it up, all right? We're going to add, a right balance of fats, carbohydrates, protein. We're going to get it right. We're going to make sure that we start our day off right. We're going to get our nutrients in one thing at a time. You are not the person that we're just going to give you a plan. You're going to go to the grocery store, get a 5 million thing, because you ain't going to do it. You ain't going to do it. So you just going to pick that one thing and just implement it. And not only for that person, this is for everybody too. Make sure that you just, when you're looking to transition your life and you're looking to live a healthier lifestyle, it's not about a complete overhaul. And I'm going to tell you why. If you look at the health industry, right, it is a multi-billion-dollar industry. There are so many solutions out there, yet we are still heading to 50% obesity rate. That tells you that the gimmicks and all this fast stuff that people doing out there, it don't work. Because you have to take time to learn yourself. You have to take time to learn what your body likes and does not like, especially as you age. Certain things, your body just may not align with you anymore. You have to take time to find that out. But if you're rushing out there to say, let me do this, keto thing, or let me go do this Atkins thing over here real quick, and you're trying to lose weight in 2 days, it generally doesn't work, because again, the statistics would show. And most people, they try to be cute and they show their weight loss, but a lot of people can't keep it off. And that's the reason, because it takes time. You have to figure out what works for you. If you're busy all the time and all of a sudden you're trying to do a complete overhaul, you're gonna get overwhelmed, and you're not gonna want to do it anymore. So you always want to set yourself up for success and know that small changes go a long way. So I just want you to just think about getting more fruits and vegetables into your diet. Cut back on the soda. If you're drinking a lot of soda, maybe you want to switch over to flavored salsa, right? If you like juice all the time, maybe you want to do half juice, half water. You have to begin to baby step yourself into it. Now, there are people who, they can do a complete overhaul. I know people like that. And they're not trying to baby step nothing. They made the decision and they're going for it. And that's fine. Everyone, like I said, is different. We're not looking to compare ourselves to no one. We focusing on ourselves and what we're going to do. So you'll want to begin to just implement small things into your diet. If you can visit my website, unhealthynomore.com. I have some recipes there, or you can email me at Vanessa@unhealthynomore, and I can just, quickly share some small things just for those who are on this broadcast. But really begin to make those small changes and make sure that when you make them, that you stick to it. And then not only that, you want to observe how you feel when you actually implement more healthier choices, you're going to see that your body is going to start getting angry at you when you start trying to eat them burgers and fries. Not that I'm saying it's bad. I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, because some people, the burgers ain't just a burger. It's 8,000 things on it. You know, it ain't simple, right? So you want to make sure that you pay attention to it, because you're going to start to see your body's going to get angry at you and say, but I don't want that. I need you to give me more of this. The body naturally is going to thrive on more whole foods, and it's going to want that a lot more than you actually think. When you begin to cut, even if it's something like cutting sugar out, right? You may not go and just, change that in one night. You may begin to say, you know what, I'm observing that I'm having it at this time of the day. And then I'm noticing I'm reaching for it again this time of day, right? You want to make sure that you say, no, you know what, I'm going to actually do something different, and I'm going to have something else, right? And then you also want to make sure that the things that are causing you the pain, you need to keep out your house, right? Because when you get stressed out, you're going to run for it. So you want to make sure that you're stocking your apartment, your house, wherever you dwell, with more healthful things, so that you can begin to make different choices. When you're in your house and you're working all the time, or wherever your office, you need those things around you to help you to say, you know what, instead of this, I'm going to reach for that. So I want you to begin to just adding just things into your diet slowly, making small changes slowly, getting the exercise back in. A lot of people, they don't like to work out. I'm not saying you got to run and go join a CrossFit gym, but I'm saying, you can do walking. I know someone who's on the broadcast, 2 people, that they walk quite frequently. For them, that works for them. I know other people who, they want to do the CrossFit type of stuff. They want to do things like what I do, swimming. They want to go running. They're going to go bike riding, but that's what they want to do. You have to figure out what you like, because it's always going to be what you like that's going to get you to that intended goal and result. It's not because you're on Facebook and you're watching Sue and Johnny, picking up those big tires and flipping them over the walls and jumping up the walls, and you want to do that too. No, I'm not saying you can't do that eventually, but you need to work your way in, because you will overwhelm yourself and you will not be successful in what you want to do. So you want to get more exercise in. Sometimes when I one of my signals for when I start getting stressed, my left side, my neck gets so tense, it feel like hard as a rock. I start to know, like, hold on. I keep the weights at my desk, because the minute I can see myself crossing over, again, when you pay attention to yourself, when you about to cross over and there's going to be no return, and nobody can pull you back. You're just going to be in a whatever mode you're going to be. I'll pick up my weights, and immediately I'll just start pumping, and I'll just start counting, and I'll just stay there for a couple of minutes. You don't even have to do it for 30 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. Literally will change the trajectory of even your activity level, right? So you start small, and then eventually you're going to say, oh, I like the way that I feel. I feel stronger. It's like looking at the people in the gym. You go in there one day, and then you're lifting the weights, and you're working out, and then you think you're in shape, overnight. It's just something that working out, it just makes you feel powerful. It just makes you feel strong. It makes you feel like you could literally take on anything. So you want to begin to do those things, incorporate that. You want to also make sure that you're taking a whole food multivitamin. You want to make sure you take a probiotic, again, for the stomach issue, related issues that you might face. You want to make sure you take a probiotic. You want to make sure that you're taking your vitamin C, your B12, your B vitamins. These are going to be the things that's critical. Calcium to your body's functioning, your metabolism, all those various mechanisms in your body. You want to make sure that you do that. You want to take time, even maybe journaling. Sometimes it's good to get your thoughts out, because if it's in your head, it's just going and going and going, and then you ain't stopping, and you keep feeding into what your mind is telling you. You want to make sure that sometimes you have to journal your thoughts out, and you have to get these things outside of your brain and get them on paper, and begin to work on what is your strategy to begin to deal with those issues, to deal with those matters, right? So again, you want to make sure that you're eating better. You want to make sure that you're implementing things incrementally. You don't have to go on 1,000 automatically you just want to just make sure you get things in to your diet to begin to start the process of you getting to where you need to get. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this broadcast. Oh wait, you need to get sleep. Stop saying that you don't need sleep. You need it. Your body needs to recover and it needs to rest. Another thing is that you want to make sure that you stay hydrated. You will get severely dehydrated in times of stress. Remember, your body is recruiting every resource to change the structure and function of your organs, the systems in your body, because we are 70-80% water. Your body needs water. So I need you to make sure that you stay dehydrated. Get these things into your body that's going to help you, to give you the clarity, to give you the focus, to give you the drive, to give you, and then you want to be an example, right? It's one thing to be a success in the world, right? But you want to be an example. You want people, when they see you, they're like, dang, she got it together. Oh, dang, he got it together. Not only are they killing it in their respective industry, they're in shape. They're taking their health seriously. People know, because people like to brag and talk about their stuff. So people going to show you that on their Fitbit or whatever, that they ran 8,000 miles in the morning, that they did, whatever it is that day, right? People like to see you the total package, because people going to talk about you when they say, okay, you killing it over here, but you're not killing over there, because that's just human nature. People just like to talk, right? So you want to be that prime example, not only for those in your industry, those who you're mentoring. Most people want to be around successful people, and you want to transfer over healthy habits. You don't want to be that one who is like, you're teaching your mentees, this is what we're going to do to gain success. We're going to create this marketing strategy. We're going to do this sales funnel. We're going to kill it on social media. We're going to do this and do that. And then they see you constantly got caffeine all over your desk. You have snacks all over the place. They see you in distress. You don't want to pick that image, because that is not the image of success. Success is holistic, and that's what I love about the Winning Women's Network, that Chief Tyler teaches people to be holistic in their lives. And health is just one of the pillars. People have come on talking about finance, enduring to the end, all these different things, family, relationship, the Lord, reading the word, intercession, all those things. There's so many components that come into play, right? But health is definitely one that's at the very top, one of the key pillars, that if that is not in alignment, nothing that you want to do in life is going to work out for you, because when you don't feel well, you're not going to produce. When you don't feel well, you're not excited to do anything. And it's not that you're not naturally excited. It's just because your body is telling you, listen, we can't help you out right now because you done did too much. We tired. We need a break. We need you to rebuild and restructure us. We need you to take us to a different place. We ain't try to be here no more, and we ain't try to deal with you no more. So it'll shut down on you. And that's not something that I want you guys to literally go through, because I went through that not once, but twice. So I know that these are the things that can occur and happen. So you always want to, again, make sure that you're on the mark. It's not about being perfect. It's about making progress. When you notice that you're doing things that is not for you, you just shift and you change. So if it's anything that, I want you to take away from here, is really, you need to put yourself first. The needs of, you can't do nothing for nobody if you're not well, if you don't have the clarity, if your mind is not right, if you can't, be that pillar and example for them. You have to take care of your success. You can be healthy and have success. It doesn't have to be one or the other. We don't have to choose one. We just need to find a way to balance that out for our lives. So I really want to encourage everyone to just get a notebook out and begin to to jot down some of the things that you're doing right now. I want you to actually do it. If you have a pen and paper right now, or right directly after this broadcast, what are you doing that is causing you to be imbalanced? What are some of the things that you notice? Have you noticed any of the things that I've said? We all have key things that our body begins to tell us, hold on, you're doing too much of something and it's not good. So I want you to begin to pay attention. Observe yourself. You have to take an investment in yourself. We invest in everything else. We invest in all the training programs, but we don't invest in what is going to be required for us to get healthy. So I'm hoping that you guys enjoyed this time with me. There's so much things that I could share here, but I want to be cognizant of the time that they have allotted me here on this broadcast. And again, if you need to reach out to me, you can just email me at vanessa@unhealthynomore.com, or reach me, just go to my website, www.unhealthynomore.com. I will be more than happy to assist you. I have done this. I have helped other people get out of places. You know, one thing before I leave, when I initially transitioned into my business, I went and spoke in other Fortune 500 companies, and people began to realize, wow, like, I'm doing those things that you're saying and I need to do right, you know, because things in my life are changing. My family is suffering. I'm suffering. I'm not the same person that I used to be. So it's just when you take that time out and you begin to observe things and recognize that once you begin to tackle health things, you begin to realize the root of those things, which is in your soul, deep rooted, which I will leave that to Dr. Tyler Price to cover in this group. I will go there right now, in your soul, that you need to really deal with in order to even help you. And some of those things are really deep rooted that you probably need to deal with that first before you can even begin to tackle the health stuff. So I just want to encourage you guys, please make time for yourself. You're worth it. And I promise you, people around you, they will admire you, because they know when you're busy, a lot of things get sacrificed, and one of those things is help. So if they see that you're making the time and it works for you, however that is, 10, 15, 30 minutes a day, or you're doing it throughout the week, 2, 3, 4 times, whatever that looks for you, I'm telling you, you will be that model citizen for people that they're going to want to follow you, because a lot of people struggle in this area. So I want you guys to continue to be winning women. I know I'm going to the top, so I plan to see you at the top as well. I hope that you are encouraged by this broadcast, and that you'll begin to really think about what are some of the things that you need to do, and also recognize the things that you're saying to yourself when it concerns your health. Think about a lot of the things that you think when you go to make those changes. Think about what those things are and write it down. Sometimes people, they don't tackle their health because they did it before and they failed. It don't matter that you failed the first time. You could fail 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times. I've been there, done that, and I don't care. You're going to fight for your health no matter what. So you want to make sure that be cognizant of those conversations, those soul vows, those things that you're saying to yourself, because those are going to be the things that get in your way as well when you're looking to do this. So I hope that you guys have good people in your life to keep you accountable when you're looking to and begin to walk in your life holistically. I'm here for you. The people in this group is here for you. If you have any questions, again, you know how to find me. You can leave it in the group. Contact the Winning Women Network Committee, the chief of the organization. And I just hope you guys have a blessed evening, and I hope to be back. Take care.